Hello and welcome to Arsenal Domination, where I think I'll make this my final video on the transfer window, but I'm going to skip ahead to the future and think about what the summer of 2026 window will look like. Arsenal obviously not generated a lot of money this window and have spent a lot. Now they might not need to worry about the financial regulations next summer because they might have won the Champions League or what have you, and that will really help. But I think it's likely that they're going to have to make departures in any scenario. And you look at this squad, and there is two very good players now in every single position. Some places are a three, the likes of Max Dowman, Gabriel Jesus. If you're going through your second 11, probably not in it. One of Trossard or Martinelli would presumably have to miss out, or Mikel Moreno might miss out, depending on how you sort of want to use Eze. And it shows you depth there. But Arsenal are going to, as I say, almost certainly have to make a sale because of the financial rules. And we know that when you make a sale, you will get the money in that year. Whereas when you buy a player, you can amortise it over the length of the contract. So sales are really important to balancing the books. So it got me thinking about the players that may well be, on the hot seat, as it were, this season. Some of the players may well be that are back up this season, and I don't like the word backup because I think you need to sort of play different players in different games to make sure you don't burn out the first team. But for the purpose of this video, some of the backups may well decide, I don't want to be a backup anymore. I really want to go somewhere else and be a starter. But obviously we can't necessarily predict who they might be. So I'm sort of looking at the players that could well go because Arsenal decide they want to move them on rather than because the players decide to move them on. And the first candidate is obviously Gabriel Martinelli. He's had a difficult start to the season. I thought he ended last season quite well, and has history of blowing hot and cold, sort of a form player, and that's not uncommon for a young winger. But he is now starting to come into the peak of being a winger, and it was reported yesterday that Arsenal turned down a 40 million bid for him earlier in the summer window because they wanted closer to 60. And I think I can understand that, while the 40 million might have been really useful this year, I think Arsenal would have felt that was below the going rate, and they will have wanted to change his reputation for being poor sellers. And I think the going rate for sort of wingers around his level were sort of the 50 to 55 million pound mark. We sort of like sort of Elanga and Madueke. So I think he really is on it. He's going to have to play really well this season. But the second player I'm sort of having a look at in that position is Kai Havertz. I think Kai Havertz is a 20 goal a season striker if he's there. But Victor Gyökeres, if he really pops, could well find himself as a starting striker. Kai Havertz might want to move, and Arsenal may well want to look for as good a player as him on less wages that might be slightly younger. And I just wonder if those two players this season might be playing for their future. But let me know players you think fall into that category.